Everybody, welcome to episode number 207 of our Your Next Level Mastermind. Our topic for today, which I hope people can contribute to in as many ways as possible, because I know there's a lot of people watching this who need help. And the topic is called, What Networking Tips Have Worked for You? Hi, Mary, nice to see you. What networking tips have worked for you? Before we get to that, before we get to introducing these very wonderful people, let me just share this with those who are watching the recording. I would like you very much to not just connect with these people, but talk with them. Book a time to talk with Chris and with Fred and with Annika and Daniel, Brian, Yvonne, John, Jeff, Vangelis and Mary. Book a time with them. They have opportunities. They have connections that you don't even know about. They have expertise and experience in a whole range of areas, and they come from all different parts of the world. And all I'm saying to you who are watching this on the replay, please make the most of this opportunity of reaching out and booking a time to talk with them. All right. All you need to do is simply say you saw them on the Your Next Level Mastermind and you'd like to book a time with them. And then if you look underneath the video, you'll see underneath that in the YouTube description box their contact details. Please do that. Don't miss the opportunity. With that in mind, let's get them to introduce themselves for a minute or two so you can get a bit of an idea what they're all about. Okay, and we'll start with you, Dr. Chris, because you were the first cab off the rank here. So I'm going to start with you, followed by more marketing ideas, Fred Gillen.
I feel very privileged. Thank you, Peter. My name is Dr. Chris Williams from Arts Media Consultants. I help business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and other professionals who loathe presenting get to love it and not feel like they come across as complete dicks on Zoom and video.
That's short and sweet, to the point, but everyone understands it. Thank you very much, Dr. Chris. Fred, over to you, followed by Dr. Annika.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Hi, everyone. Most of you guys here already know me because you've got more market ideas from me in the past. And that's the name of my business. I run a digital agency called More Marketing Ideas. And I help every business owner get more marketing ideas. And if you want more marketing ideas, just Google it and you'll get more marketing ideas. You'll find my website called moremarketingideas.com. And that's the name of my business. And that's really what I do. So whether you're a coach and need more marketing ideas, whether you're a business that does something else and need more marketing ideas, all you got to do is Google it. Just Google More Marketing Ideas. That's me, Fred Gillen, More Marketing Ideas.
Thank you, Fred, very much indeed.
Fred, what do you do?
I've got no idea.
Dr. Annika, followed by you, John.
Okay, you know how C-suite leaders have too much on their plate and they are overwhelmed, scared they do a bad job and that it will show, and they are scared to be weak. Well, what I do is to help these leaders get back on track again through mentoring and speaking and workshops so they can be that great leader that they always dreamed about to be and increase the money in the business at the same time.
That's interesting. Scared to be weak. Wow. Wow. Very interesting way of looking at it. Thank you, Annika. John D. Allen, followed by Yvonne.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you are in this big wide world. I'm John D. Allen, Allen Small Business Coaching. If there was a way you could learn how to fall in love with your prospect's problem, not your solution or program, you'd want to know about it, right? That's what I teach. The one thing that I find a lot of people have in starting out a business is they think they're in business for themselves, but they still have the employee mindset. And by that, I mean, they're waiting for somebody to give them permission to do something or give them the leads they need or whatever. That's a common problem with a lot of small business owners. They still have the employee mindset. So it's one of the things to teach people is how to get rid of that. Prime example was I was talking with a young lady one day and she said she needed permission for her to be able to go ahead and do something. So I said, okay, I give you permission to do it. She said, thank you, and went on to do it. And I said to her, who the hell am I to give you permission to do anything in your business. And that's when she realized she was still stuck with the employee mindset. So, if that's one of your challenges or problems, you are the boss. You need to make the decisions. You need to take the actions. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, John. Can I just pick you up on one word? You said in the midst of all that you teach. Is that what you do? Do you teach? Do you coach? Do you mentor? I mean, what's
Teach.
the,
It's teaching people how to ask better questions so they get better answers. And without the right questions, you get crappy answers. So it's, teaching people how to be better at and how to listen as well.
Good. So for those who
Thank
are
you.
watching the recording, hear what John just said. Okay, he will teach you how to do it. That's what I was trying to get at. Thank you, John, very much. Yvonne A. Jones, nice to see you as always, followed by Daniel.
Peter. Thank you, Peter. Good to be here. Well, you know how many small business owners and entrepreneurs spend a lot of time and money trying to attract new clients and customers. I help them to appreciate the fact that they can attract more customers or keep the ones they have by building those strong, authentic relationships. I teach them strategies, and I do teach strategies to help them, just simple ways that they can stay in contact with their clients and customers over a long period of time, building those relationships, doing those follow-up calls, staying in touch, and making their customers and clients feel special so that they want to remain with them. I've been doing this for over 16 years. I've been working with the entrepreneurs and small business owners to help them build these authentic relationships rather than simply focusing on transactional connections. I'm based in Jamaica. I'm in Florida, and I live between two places. Today, I want to give a quick shout out for Brian McKnight and John D. Allen. Thank you for being a part of my world, everyone here, but especially those two gentlemen. And of course, you, Peter. I always forget to thank you.
Now, Brian McKnight is the famous singer. I'm Brian McNeil.
Oh, Brian McKnight, whatever. I'm so sorry, Brian. Yes, that's the same famous singer, but you're the famous sales what again?
I'm waiting on your famous tagline. You didn't do it today.
Ah, you're right.
I'm holding my breath waiting.
Thank you, Peter. My mantra is focus on relationships, the money will follow. And again, my apologies, Brian. You are Brian McNeil.
The one and only.
The one and only.
The one and only. Thank goodness for that, right?
Looking for more marketing ideas.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. Daniel, followed by Jeff Veale.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here as always. So I'm Daniel Kobryner. I'm French, and I've been living in the UK for quite a few years. I'm a high energy life and business coach and an international motivational speaker. I help small business owners and entrepreneurs who feel stuck, who don't have a direction in their life, to find back clarity, confidence, motivation. So really to get their power back and live the best life they can and become unstoppable. What's very important is really to offer people a safe space where they can express themselves without fear of being judged, of being criticized, of being given unsolicited advice. So really, people want today to be heard, to be seen, and to be understood. So this is what I'm doing. I love connecting with people and really helping people transforming their lives into the best life they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, very much indeed. Jeff Veale, followed by Anita.
My name is Jeff Veale, known as the Business Guru. I'm based here in the Philippines, been in Asia for some 13 years and have a large team up here. And one of our proud boasts is results, so you don't pay a dime. In other words, we move the needle, guys. So if you want some help, reach out. We can show you how to get leads. We can show you how to close clients, show you how to do email marketing. We can build you a nice website for $295. There's lots of things we can do for you. We can't do anything if you don't reach out. So guys, reach out. Let's have a virtual cup of coffee and find out what, if anything, we can do for you. And remember, we don't run your business for you. We help you grow your business. It's really that simple. You've still got to do the work. Thanks for that, Peter.
Thank you, Jeffrey, very much indeed. Anita, nice to see you, and I hope you're feeling a bit better than you were last week. Good to see you, followed by Veale.
Yes, I'm a trusted advisor for the No More 9 to 5 Club, and we focus on helping entrepreneurs develop skills, the wisdom, and while keeping their well-being, while trying to make a 9 to 5, to break free from the 9 to 5 routine. And we also offer virtual assistants and with the website and CRM. We build those out for entrepreneurs so they can focus on doing what they do best.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Vangelis, followed by Mary.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vangelis here in Costa Rica, 6 a.m. I am sure most of you have heard of artificial intelligence, and a lot of companies are wanting to integrate that into their business. And AI is not a product. It's not an application. It's basically a combination of a bunch of technologies. And one of the biggest challenges most companies have, it's not really the applications or technologies, it's the interdepartmental communication of all of the people involved in the AI integration. So the reason people call me is because a lot of times they just want someone to demystify what does AI really mean, and what does it mean for their business, and what does it mean to their jobs? What does it mean to the world of humanity? So I help people realize what it really means and how they can actually integrate it into their business. Thank you.
Thank you, my man. Very much indeed. Mary Stanley, followed by Brian K.
Hey, it's an honor to be here. So next week is Neurodiversity Week, and it's to shed light on what autism, ADD, and all these other acronyms that are in the news, what they are and how to be more inclusive. That's what I teach. I help you understand how your child or how your brain is wired to help you overcome the challenges that you struggle with, but at the same time looking at the gifts. You know, autism is not something that needs to be cured. It's not something that you're broken. It's you are wired differently, and it's about how to harness those abilities and you be you at the same time overcoming what your challenges are. And starting next week, due to Neurodiversity Week, I will have different pop-up events talking about things from what is autism, what happens when you get diagnosed and where to go from there, all the way to understanding what neuroplasticity is and how to do different exercises to strengthen your brain, to understand temp regulations and meltdowns, stemming, all the different aspects that go into it that is not fully understood.
Thank you, Mary, very much indeed. Well done. And what a fantastic job you do. Brian, over to you.
I tell you guys, I wasn't here last Wednesday and I missed you guys so much. But my name is Brian K. McNeil and I am the Sales Confidence Coach. I'm the world's recognized authority on selling services. There are so many amazingly talented people with services that genuinely do serve other people. But a lot of these amazing people do not earn the money that they could or that they should. And very often the reason why they do not earn the money is they simply do not know how to sell it well, or they're using antiquated methods of selling that no longer work. And what I do is I teach people what to say and what to do so that they can sell themselves, which they often forget, and their services better than they ever have before so they can earn more money. And I do it through my coaching, through my workshops, through my talks, my platform, through my groups, which I'm very excited about, and through my books. I'm the author of 7 books. Brian K. McNeil, the Sales Confidence Coach.
Thank you, Brian. And spoken with confidence as well. No doubt about it. The apologies.
He's such a shy individual, isn't he?
Beg your pardon, Fred?
He's such a shy individual.
If I could just get out of my shell, you're right, Fred.
We've got apologies from Tina Huggins, who says to say hello to you all, but she couldn't make it this week. She'll be here next week. Mark Ingstar, Pat Dryer, who's always with us, but unfortunately it's 5 o'clock in the morning for him with this time change. So he's going to be here as often as he can, but he can't guarantee every week, and I don't blame him at 5 o'clock in the morning. Ingborg, she's with a client right now. She'll hope to catch up with us next week. George Nagel and Brenda Sheldrake. They're the apologies I received. Let's get to the topic itself. And for those who are here in the room, please, I'll take you by the hands that are raised. The topic is, what networking tips have worked for you? What networking tips have actually worked for you? And for those who are watching the replay, listen very carefully what these people have to say. Listen very carefully, because these people actually do what they talk about. They don't just go to ChatGPT and come up with an idea. They actually do this. Well, Fred does that, okay, but you also do it, right? I mean, I'm talking about you take action, you just don't do the theory. All right. Thanks, Mr. Marketing Ideas. Yvonne, you end up first. Over to you.
Thank you, Peter. This happens to be one of my favorite topics because, again, it's all about the relationships, right? And, you know, I'll just step back a little bit and say I still cringe at the memory of my very first networking event. It was advertised as a business card exchange. And this was my very first, I was still working in corporate America, and I'd started a skincare and image consultancy business. And I said, oh, great, this will give me a chance to go out and give my business card. And that's what I did. Just handed out my business card to people. And as I say, I still cringe at the memory. Now, what worked later on when I started my online business and actually joined BNI, then Chambers of Commerce, and then actively and avidly network, sometimes attending 4 events per week, what I learned over the years, over time, it was the give of yourself. In other words, be more interested in other people. That's what worked for me. Because it wasn't about me talking about myself. It was about showing interest in other people. And they came to appreciate that. I can remember the first person said to me, are you the organizer? Is this your event? Just because I was going up and greeting people as if I were the hostess. And I had to do that because I was an introvert, and it was hard for me to go to events and, you know, just start talking to strangers just like that. So that worked beautifully for me. I have many of those people became my clients in my coaching business. They became part of my local meetup group. And some of us are still friends, even though I have left that area since 2020. And many of us still maintain contact. So showing interest in other people, giving first.
Well said, Yvonne. Would it be right to say that you created a safe space for people? They felt safe with you.
Actually, I don't know if I ever shared that with you, Peter, why you reflected that, but I got that. That. And as a matter of fact, I can remember at the time at one point when I was a social media manager, there was someone who ever said, oh, she's your competitor. And I remember meeting her at an event, introduced myself, and we had a beautiful conversation. And months later, I saw on Facebook where she was acknowledging me and talking about somebody else who told her that she didn't have a chance, and that person was no longer in business. And she was saying I was her direct competition and how I was gracious. So, you know, people remember kindness. And if you're good to them, you provide, as you said, Peter, at that safe space, you become unforgettable.
Well said. Thank you, Yvonne, very much indeed. Please, if you're watching this, make sure you hear what everyone just said. That was a golden gem worth thousands of dollars. Mary.
The first most important thing is you don't go in to sell. Drop the elevator pitch. Don't read your scripts, which you see a lot of people do when you're in networking events. And it's being yourself. It's letting your personality come through, you know, between asking questions and talking about you, but also what you do in a way that is genuine, putting that emotional, that personal aspect into what you do. And it's about just being there, connecting with that person on that personal level and understanding who they are and what people they are looking for. So that way you can connect them with people. It's a mutual relationship. And that's it. It's creating that personal relationship. A lot of people, you know, that's how I met you, Peter. We started networking with Fred back 8 years ago.
Oh, is it that
long
long
time?
ago? My goodness.
It is. I've been in business 8 years.
Ooh. Wow. Thank you. In a nutshell, Mary, if I hear you right, you're looking at the word authenticity, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's what you are, 100% authentic. Thank you very much. Daniel.
See, I so much concur with what Yvonne and Mary said, because the first thing is really to go there and, you know, being genuinely interested in people. It's not about us. It's really about, you know, discovering, you know, what they like, what's their passions. It's about others. And as well, you know, if there's anything we can help with, it's great, but it's not about us. So this is this genuine, authentic connection. This is the number one point. Just some little tips I'd like to add as well, because I've seen it so much in my career, and is that really follow up with people, because, you know, sometimes it's like you connect and nothing's happening. And if you don't follow up, you know, and I remember I used to collect business cards like 25 years ago, and afterwards I realized it was no, when there is this connection, you know, let's like connect on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, and really follow up. And this is really when things happen, when people see we are genuinely interested in these connections. And of course, so thank you very much for that.
Daniel, let me put you in the hot seat just for a moment. Do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
I've heard before many times that the money's in the follow-up, right? You just said it then, that you need to follow up. My question to you, Daniel, is how do you follow up people and not be perceived as chasing them?
It's a very good point, you know, to follow. Okay, for instance, what I would do, you know, I would send a message, you know, thanking people, you know, for the connection and seeing how good it was. And of course, sometimes I would invite people to say, okay, if it would be great to have like a follow-up call if you are up to that, but never in a kind of pushing or how do you say, salesy approach. It's really just like if people, you know, want it. And very often you see in the first connection when the rapport is created, and very often people will say, oh, it would be great. And then you go this, but don't push. If for whatever reason, you know, people are not comfortable with that, it's absolutely fine. We just said, you know, it's up to you. You know, there's no pressure whatsoever. Make people feel safe, that it's really, they need to be comfortable, you know, in connecting with us.
Thank you, Daniel. Well answered. Well answered. Right.
What a great question. That's tips on networking. I believe I am awesome at it, and I always earn when I do it. The thing is, I believe my chief skill is my ears, because I go to networking events or anytime I'm anywhere where I could network, is I am there to collect the stories. I am collecting their stories. And my party trick is I will ask them what they do, collect their story, and I will regurgitate back to them what I understand that they do, but I will tell it to them through my filter, how I sell it in a way that sells and compels. So what I understand is that you help people do this, this, and this through your services so that they can do this, this, and this. people a lot of times are really, really impressed by that. But that's what I'm there to do. That gives me an opportunity to learn what they do from them, but also learn what they do in such a way that I could teach it too. That means I get it better. So me collecting the stories. I love the question that you just asked, Brother Daniel Kobryner, and I would like to address it too. I think it's a myth that we follow up too often. I don't think you can. I think you keep following up. You keep putting yourself on their minds. It's just marketing. Now, you can't do it every day, but minimally once a month. Everyone that's ever had a connection with you, once a month, you must put yourself back on their minds. It could be a tip. It could be a promotion. It could be something newsworthy, but you keep reminding them what you do, everyone. And I also believe this is an adage that's old, that you follow up until they buy or die. You keep following up, okay? It's a myth that you're following up too much. You're not following up too much. That's just in your head, not theirs.
Buy or die. Wow. Let me share this. For those who are watching this replay, hear one thing that Brian just said. He said, sell and compel, right? That's what he's good at. Many people sell and repel. If you are interested in knowing how to do what Brian just did, you need to reach out to him, because follow-up is important, but the way that you do it is something that Brian can teach you how to do it the right way. Thank you very much, Brian. Well done.
Could I contribute one moment? Add on.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I don't even need 30 seconds. I need 20 seconds or 15. Your attitude when you're following up, your attitude when you network. If you're saying, I'm not going to be, I'm not a salesman, I'm not going to be salesy, you're saying negative things to something that you would want to have happen. And your subconscious mind is not going to let you do things well that you find distasteful. Stop saying that. That's all.
Thank you, Brian. Well said. Dr. Annika.
Well, I am among people who are much better at this than I am, for sure. I'm not that fond of going to big networking events because I'm more of an introvert in that sense. So I prefer smaller places. And I learned that more or less the hard way when I started as a business person, because I went to every place you could go because they told you you should. And I realized after a while that I was just uncomfortable in some of them. And then I skipped that kind of. And then I will go back to what Yvonne and whoever it was, Anita, who talked about you need to listen and to be just kind, hear what they say, and be a nice person. I think that's the basic, that you need to be that nice person that can listen and so on. And funnily enough, since I work with calmness and stress, quite a few people have told me afterwards that, oh, I feel so calm when I talk to you. How do you do it? And I have no clue. I'm just me. But listen more than talking, absolutely. And find your space to go to. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Annika. And by the way, there's no reason to feel anything else but proud of the fact that you're an introvert. I mean, to be quite honest with you, some of the most successful business entrepreneurs in the world are introverts. Okay?
I know.
And Brian K. McNeil is telling me he's an introvert. Okay? And if you don't believe him, ask his wife. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Annika. Very much, as always.
Thank you.
Dr. Chris.
Yes, well, I'm a proud member of the Introvert Club myself, actually, which is surprising to some people, because having a a 50-year history in the performing arts and television, people often assume that you've got to be an extrovert to do that, but quite the opposite is often the case. And I'm not a natural networker at all. And but the thing that the key for me was a colleague of 20 plus years of mine said, who was a very successful CEO of a business, a communications business. He said, you don't go to a networking event to get work, you take a plate. And I love that. I love that the offering, everyone's been saying it. You know, you go to listen, you go to give of yourself, and drop the elevator pitch. I love that too, because you have to give, and not sort of have an expectation that someone's going to, you know, immediately sign you up as your client. So yeah, it's often an uncomfortable space for we introverts, as several of us have indicated.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you for your honesty. I hear where you're coming from. But remember what Yvonne said as well. Yvonne said that people approached her thinking she was hosting these sessions from the way that she approached them, right?
Yeah.
That's the secret. That is the secret. That's why she said it's a favorite topic, because she's nailed this. She knows how to do it. People don't feel repelled. People don't feel under pressure. People feel safe. People feel comfortable with Yvonne. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Chris, very much. Fred Gillen.
Yeah, look, I think everybody's covered it pretty well. The most important aspect, like if I go to a networking meeting, I usually go because there's free drinks or something like that going on. But when I go there, it's really, if people ask me what I'm doing, I'll tell them, but I'm always doing the asking. So it's like I go around and I introduce myself, and it's all about what do you do? You know, all about them. It's not about me. If they ask me what I do, yeah, I tell them, but then I take the conversation back to them very quickly. I don't rabbit on about what I do, even though that is just one more marketing idea, but it's, you know, and I had to get that in, sorry. But, you know, and one of the things I do before I leave somebody is I've got this on my phone, right? So it's a QR code, and I just get somebody to scan that, and I've got it set up so that when they scan it, it says QR codes work. Thanks for attending the event, and I will change that based on what event I go to, you know, and then I ask them if they want to stay in touch and fill in the form. If they don't fill in the form, well, I'll still follow up later, but it's a multi-asset for me, because it's telling them that these things work because they filled it in, they've got to a website, it's giving them information, and I also get to capture their information into my system, which is a CRM system, and then that follows up automatically anyway, right? So, but the most important aspect is that you can't follow up with somebody if you don't know what they're doing, right? You're just out selling your shit, you know? Whereas you might be more interested in what they've got to sell. Sometimes what they're doing can benefit you as well. So it's very important that you listen to what they're doing and then take that on board.
So is that your main point, Fred? Listen?
Listen. Yeah. Just listen to the other party. Like, make it all about them.
Good. Thank you very much. By the way, I'm envious of nearly everybody here. I'm not sure about you, Jeff, in the Philippines, but I don't get the opportunity to go face to face with Chris Willems or John or Daniel or Yvonne. I mean, I don't have that, and I wish I could, but you live in a remote Thai village, I'm not near anybody. So the only relationships I have are online ones. Okay. But I know that in Yvonne's case, when she was talking about networking, it's not just online for her. She did a lot of face-to-face networking as well. Okay. I have never in my life done that, ever. I've only ever done it online. So I've had to do it the hard way by doing it this way. Started off with Skype, by the way. Okay. Oh, Skype's closing. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They're closing the system down. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Anyway, not surprised. I agree. All right. Kristine, nice to see you. And before you say anything, I want to say I am very humble and grateful for the very lovely words you put together on LinkedIn today. Oh, I felt shy, but thank you very much indeed. But what a fantastic way to network. Think about that. That was a perfect way to build networking. Over to you, Kristine, best. What networking tips work for you?
I do networking both in person and online, mainly online. And so when I'm online, I usually don't just tell people what I do. I give information to inform people, to educate them so that they understand the importance of wellness and what causes disease and why it's important they pay attention now, because most people they're not proactive about their wellness. They just take it for granted. They think I'm well now, I'm okay. But that's not a good way to be, because chronic disease happens over a long period of time. So I like to educate people about that. So definitely creates a lot of interest. I get a lot of feedback to say that I'm inspiring. So I guess it catches a lot of people's attention. But when I do face-to-face networking, I'm in a different group. I'm in BX networking, and there's a format, and they give you guidelines as to how you present yourself. And so in that group, it's about the pitch. It's about exactly what you do and how it relates to the people in the room and why should they do business with you. So it's a different format. So I guess my comment would be about business networking. It depends on the group you're in as to how you're going to present yourself, who are the people in the room, and how are you going to relate to them. And because different groups, different people will require maybe a different approach.
Well said. Thank you, Kristine. Well done. Mary, you've got your hand up. Hello.
There we go. Just give me a minute. I'm a little slow multitasking here. The one big benefit of networking online, which is what I do 90% of mine, is you get to meet people all over the world. I would never have met you. Plus, you could do it from the comfort of your home and only have to be half dressed. Dress on top and sweats on the bottom. And no one knows the difference.
That's true.
Plus, it also helps you, like people who are introverts, to be able, if you're networking online, you're in your comfort zone, you're in your safety space. So it helps you get yourself out there more, where you wouldn't normally be able to do that when you're in a strange environment.
Good point. Well said, Mary. But I know you and Daniel got your hands back up just for a moment there, because you've had something. Does anyone else want to share something? Jeff or Veale, you want to share something?
Sure, I'll go next. I don't really think about it as a networking thing. I just go there to have a conversation and help people feel significant when you just speak with them like you would any other time, and just ask questions. I want to know what they're all about, and I just talk to them like they're just a regular person. And a lot of times, if you just go there just to learn more about them, then they start learning about you because you're sharing just like they're sharing. And to me, it's more than just getting information. It's helping them feel significant, because I want to know what it is about them that they want to share. And then once they start sharing things, then I just ask questions. And a lot of times in that, when they start learning about you, then they start saying, well, maybe I might need to get some more information from you, or have you helped me, and stuff like that. It's like my partner, she she was looking for clients. And I said, well, why don't you just meet people and go to classes, go to different places? So last night she went to a class and the people met her. And this one lady said, wow, I have a lot of extra clients and I really feel comfortable with you. And I think you're really authentic and genuine. And so I'm going to give you some of my clients. I told her, you didn't have to go there to look for anything. Just go there and just be open to learn, and people meet you and stuff like that. So I don't have any pressure about trying to do anything. It's just being me and just making a conversation with people.
And being visible.
Mm-hmm.
Being visible. Yeah. Said, thank you. Jeff.
Yeah, hi guys. My strategy is you're all on the one track. You're all, hey, we go to these meetings and we won't talk about me, we'll talk about you. What if you were wrong? What if you were wrong? Think about that. What if you were wrong? Tell me, in your mind, if I said to you, who's one of the most talked about chefs on the internet? Right, and I know a couple of names that would come up. For some of you, the name would come up like Gordon Ramsay or John, what's his name, Jamie Oliver. And Gordon Ramsay is controversial. Think about, I want you guys to think about Tom Brady. If you're American, you know who Tom Brady is. He's won 8 Super Bowls, and a lot of people hate him. It's not his fault. He's good, right? He's won 8 Super. Imagine that, guys. 8 Super Bowls, incredible, right? So. Guys, all I'm saying here is I choose to zig where others zag. I've done that most of my life. Right? If everyone's on the one direction, I go the other direction because there's less competition. So basically what I'm saying is do it whatever works for you. And the other thing I've done, guys, if you want to go to my Facebook later, I put up a post today, and I can't drop it in the chat, it's too big, about why we should all get together and network. I've said basically to people, what's your favorite networking group? Drop it in the chat. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to put together a networking directory. So you've got dozens of different networks around the world that you can go to. They're not all going to be your avatar. They're not all going to suit you. I go to some groups and they're hopeless, right? I go to other groups and they're bloody awesome, right? So guys, if you could do me a favor, go to my Facebook page later and drop in the chat, or even drop in the chat what your favorite networking groups are, and I'll put you on the directory and get you more people to your networking groups. That's my 10 cents worth, Peter.
Thanks, Jeff. Zig, not zag. Well done.
Absolutely.
Good. John Allen.
You're muted, John. No audio. Still no audio.
I'm lip reading.
Me too.
There you go. Is it coming now?
Yes.
It's coming now. I read it.
Too many buttons. Just before I start, I want to give a shout out. Yvonne and I had a great call yesterday, and that one worked very well. The other thing, when you guys are networking, everybody said great stuff. We all hear word of mouth is our best deal. This is the new word of mouth. It's called word of screen. When people like you, they'll share it. They'll also share it if they don't like you. So when you're talking to people, and again, like everybody said, it's all about them. It's not about you. Even Jeff, as much as he wants to zag what everybody else zigs, it's still about that individual. So when you're networking, this is where fall in love with your prospect's problem, not your solution or program, because they don't give a rat's ass about our solution or program. They want to know, can you solve my problem? It's all about them. It's not about you. Thank you, Peter.
Well done, John. It is all about them. No doubt about that. Fred.
Yeah, there's just one thing that I do. Like if I'm in a networking group and there's somebody in there that I want to connect with, normal process is you put something in the chat, here's my details, let's set up a call or whatever. If somebody comes back to me and says, yes, let's do that, I'll go, how about directly after this call? So it's basically get them while they're hot, right? That's my focus. So It's like everybody says, here's my calendar link, here's this or whatever. I've got an appointment in 2 days' time. By the time you get on in 2 days' time, you go, shit, what was that? Who was that guy? What was he doing? What? Oh, God, I got to go and search his LinkedIn. I got to find out who he is, what he was, all the rest of it. Whereas if you can get on the call after the networking meeting, everything's hot in your mind. You're still, open to having a conversation with the guy. So I always reach out to somebody. I won't be doing it now after this call, but usually when I'm on a networking meeting, I'll reach out to somebody and say, if they say, yes, let's catch up, I'll say, are you available directly after this? And 9 times out of 10, I'll get a yes. And then we can have a good conversation.
Being the technological guru that I am, is this where digital business cards come into play?
I personally don't like them.
I don't know anything about them. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because they are.
I got a pet hate for digital business cards and also Linktree. Just a couple of pet hates of mine.
The only reason I suggest is because digital business cards enable you to book appointment right then and there.
Yeah, but that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is you can book an appointment anywhere you like, right? But it's in the future. Whereas you can get somebody now back on a call while the conversation is still appropriate. So
Okay. Point taken, Fred. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Daniel?
Yeah, well, I would like to go on, the point which Vangelis was making, about your partner going to an event and being authentic and without expectation. I so much relate to that. We go there, we don't expect. But there's one thing which can make a difference as well. You see, when we say being authentic, it's really being ourselves. And to give you, I'm just going to share one example, is over the last few years, I kind of really became more spiritual. I was not there, but really I changed, in terms of, I believe everything's happened for a reason, a lot of things, the laws of the universe. And very often, when I enter a conversation, can be online, I start sharing a little bit about this just to see. And very often what happens is if people are on the same kind of, thinking, they will open up, and all of a sudden, the conversation takes a completely different turn in terms of being, perhaps, I wouldn't say superficial, but at a certain level, you go deeper. And when this happens, things are very different afterwards. The connection level is different. So really my encouragement to everyone who listens is be yourself. Don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable. See how it goes. And obviously, but sometimes it can really impact a lot the relationship we've got with others. Thank you.
Well said, Daniel. Vulnerability is a very, very irresistible character trait. No doubt about that. Well said. Kristine.
Yeah, just a quick sort of thing. I mean, when I look at all you, we're networking, you could all be sitting in your underwear or your pajama pants, right? So the thing is, I know that doesn't matter when we're looking at you, but when you dress well, you feel good. And when you're sitting there and you've only got your jammy pants on or whatever, your jocks, the thing is, you're not presenting yourself and feeling really good about yourself. And I think it makes a difference. And I like to dress properly. Even if I'm on a Zoom call, I want to be dressed. And you can still be comfortable with your pants on, your jeans or your dress pants or whatever it is you've got. So I just thought I'd throw that in because it can psychologically make a difference to you about how you feel and how you present yourself to the other person.
Well said. Well said indeed. That is a very good point. And being the clothes horse that I am, I should take that on board. Well done. Dr. Chris.
Yes, thanks, Peter. And I just want to follow up on that. And I agree entirely, Kristine. And what I was going to say was refer back to something Veale said before about helping them feel significant. As a very well-known Australian social researcher by the name of Hugh Mackay, who has written many books. One that I want to cite is a book called What Makes Us Tick. And he says the most fundamental desire driving all of us is the desire to be taken seriously, and which relates back to helping make them feel significant. But also just going full circle back to what Kristine says, that in my presentations, I use a slide that's one of our former prime ministers who had a Zoom meeting with 6 world leaders. The top half, who was wearing a suit and tie and everything. The bottom half, who was wearing shorts, stubbies and thongs. And he got the official prime ministerial photographer to take a photo of that and post it online. And I found that extremely insulting to the 6 world leaders that he just had a meeting with. And I'm sure they found it equally insulting, because I agree, Kristine, what you wear influences how you feel. How we feel influences how we come across, and how we come across influences how we are perceived. So I fully agree with both of you.
But as a prime minister, to do that, he's diminished himself in the eyes of all the people.
Absolutely, around the world, and
around
the world leaders, who was just insulted enormously.
I think so.
By being a smart ass. And so it was disgusting. And again, that being taken seriously, you can't be taken seriously if you do that kind of thing. That's a stupid thing to do. And but both were connected. Thanks for indulging my rant.
Do me a favour, because I've heard before the number one desire is to be understood, right? But now you've introduced another thing, because I love learning, and I learned from you right now. The desire to be taken seriously. Who quoted that again? Who was it?
Hugh Mackay.
Hugh Mackay.
He's an Australian social researcher, been around for a long, long time.
Yep, got him.
Yeah, and the book's called What Makes Us Tick.
What Makes Us Tick. Thank you very much, Chris. Well done. Great contribution. Yvonne.
I'll be very quick, Peter. Thank you. Yes, to Kristine's point, I was nodding my head, because what I was talking about when I talked about networking experience, that was in-person networking. But since COVID, many of us have had to switch to online networking. And I believe it is so vital that we project. Let me just say what Kristine said. I totally agree, because, for example, at home, I work from home. And every morning I get up, I dress, I put on my makeup, and somebody will say, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to work," because I want to feel like I'm going to work. For all the years that I was in corporate America or wherever I work, I dress for work. Even when it's supposed to be casual, that business casual, I dressed in a way that I felt good about myself. So yes, even at home, we need to do that. And to what Dr. Chris Williams just said, another quote that I love is Mary Kay Ash, one of the foremost entrepreneurs of the 20th century. She taught her consultants that they should imagine that every woman or every person wears an invisible sign around their neck that says, "Make me feel special." And if we can think that way, and how can I make this person feel special? How can I make this person feel better after they've left my presence than before they came? Then it can change the way we project ourselves and keep our authenticity at the same time. And my last tip about online networking is many times I'll go on a brand new networking. I open my LinkedIn screen. Thank you, Dania. I'll open my LinkedIn screen, pop over there and look for, say, Peter Beckenham on LinkedIn. And I just type a quick message. "Hey, Peter, we're both on such and such a networking event. Would love to connect." And that breaks barriers immediately, because you have established a commonality between you and the other person right away. So they'll go look at your profile and that's fine, but at least they're more likely to say yes.
Well said. Well said. And what a wonderful way to finish, especially when you're quoting Mary Kay, okay? Woo. Make me feel special. That sums up the entire night. What a thank you, Yvonne, for providing the perfect segue to say goodnight to all of you. Okay, well done indeed.
Peter, good night, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. It's morning for me. Bye-bye.
Thank you again.
Mary, all the best with your event this week. Or is it next?
Yeah, good luck, Mary. Good luck to you, okay? Okay. 8 years we've known each other. Goodness, that scares me.
Wow.
Ooh, and that's the story of another day. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you again for your contributions. Hope to see you at the same time next week. Okay. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.